Welcome everybody to our director chat. It's January January the 6th. And I want us to be able to meet together, share ideas, brainstorm things that are going on in our teams and whole organization. And I really, want this to be a team effort, not just me making decisions and you all going along with it. I don't feel like that's what our organization is. I feel like we're a whole team that has amazing ideas and input and things like that. So I would love for us to do 2 calls a week. And we talked about this, I think the end of December, about what we felt like we wanted to do, how much we wanted to meet. So we landed on 2 calls a month, and those that can get on, and those that can't will record and we'll have the playback. So that way you're not missing anything. However, I'd love for everybody to be able to be on and discuss and give their input, because there are so many people with so many great ideas that those others of us wouldn't even have thought about, right? So, and sometimes I notice I'm talking to Jessica or Leah or whatever, and I'll just mention something and they're like, why didn't you tell me you do that? I'm like, well, I didn't know that you didn't know to do that. Like, I think because I just do things regularly and I just assume that everybody knows that. And I get so surprised sometimes because I'll say, oh, you click here and you do this. And they're like, what the heck? Where'd that come from? So I know that there are things that you all do that I wouldn't even have thought of. So I think it's super important for us to be able to just come together and just chat and talk about business and talk about lives. And another thing I love about you all is that you truly are my friends and my family, and I want to hear what's going on, and I want to see your face, and I want to, hear about you. So I think this is super important for us to do. I think two times a month is not too much to ask, for us to hang out and just chat about what's going on. So right now I have it set for the first and third Thursday of every month at 1 o'clock. I do know that a lot of people have full-time jobs, so I would like to sometimes stray from that and do an evening call or an early Saturday call or something, so we can catch those people that would typically be at work right now. So know that that's in my head and my thought process, and I am trying to consider everybody. But I do know also that with the other evening calls that we have, it can be a lot to add another evening call on the plate. So if anybody has any great ideas, suggestions, whatever, hit me with them. I'm good with that. So this call today, and then on January 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern, that's when we'll have our next director chat. Okay. For those of you that don't know, I would like to get together another group that is like an accountability group for anybody that wants to work. Now we're calling it an Italy bound group, but you don't have to really have Italy as your goal. It's just an elevated, I want to grow my business, I want to do more, I want to grow an organization. So if you think that exec is out of your realm, that's okay. You don't have to have the goal of exec or to make it to Italy to be in this call. It's just for those people that want to grow their business at a fast pace. Okay. So I already have a couple of you all in it. If you aren't in it and you want to be, send me a message, let me know. Because we're going to do just a separate accountability call group too, that would be aside from this. So, okay. So I know a lot of people, asked what y'all wanted to talk about, and what I would like to see happen with these calls is one call out of the month, I will do training. Like I'm going to teach you something on being a leader, tracking reports, how to identify your rock stars, stuff like that. And then the other call, I want it to be strictly chat. Like, let's talk about brain dump, kind of what's in my head, what am I working on? Not me, but you all. So we can share ideas. So does that sound good for everybody? Thumbs up if not, thumbs down. I mean, thumbs up if yes, thumbs down if not. Thumbs, okay. whatever. Just do thumbs up. We'll be good. Alrighty. So does everybody know about Winter Jam? Anybody not know about Winter Jam? Hands up. Okay. Everybody on here in there in Winter Jam? Getting your people in there. You all, let me just tell you, I know I've done videos on this, but I just want to reiterate how big this can really be. Love did it in her organization in October when they had the $49 kit. And she heard about it one day and decided she was going to implement it the next day. And then that weekend, she just ran with it. She didn't have a plan, didn't really know what she was going to do, but it was going to be a fun event for customers, right? It was not going to be about selling. It was not going to be about, it was going to be about fun, giveaways, getting people into this, having fun, kind of seeing what we're doing. And they recruited 100 people in 3 days. And that's only the people that participated, because it was so quickly, like I knew about it, but I didn't really engage in it that much. I think I put it out to our org. Maybe one time I posted it, and I know a couple people got in it. I think Melanie and Candace, tell me if I'm wrong, but the two of you got in it and y'all recruited people, right? Melanie, can you tell me real quick about like what was your all's outlook on that?
Our outlook is anytime somebody does work for us, we're going to take advantage of it.
That's what I'm talking about, sister.
And if they're putting together the group and they're doing all the testimonials and they're giving away the product, yeah, we jumped in there. So yeah, we did get a couple of, maybe 3 consultants, and they are hard workers. I mean, they're doing really, really well. So
was it people that you would have targeted as recruits?
No, it was people that had done, it was hosts that had done parties in the past.
That's awesome. See, I think what happened with that event is that people got in and then they're having fun because there are big giveaways, y'all. We're doing like $1,000 in product giveaway this coming weekend. But people are getting in, they're paying attention. People are doing testimonials. They're putting stories of real life consultants in there. Our stories with the heart hand and the what Pampered Chef means to us. I'm putting some of those in there. Love's putting some of her org people in there. And then they're seeing what it really means to be a consultant, that it's not just about pots and pans, but it's about a whole community. And so people you would have never pegged as recruits were joining. Now, I don't really know the longevity of the consultants that signed up, but Melanie says that her people are hard workers. So, and it wasn't even somebody that she would have necessarily reached out to or asked again. Maybe they asked the host when they did their show in the past, but typically they'll say no originally, but then they often think about it, here and there. And then we don't know that they're thinking about it. So we don't go back and ask them again. So that was kind of a follow-up to them already kind of processing it in their brain, maybe, or maybe they didn't even think about it and they got in the event and they're like, heck yeah. I mean, the whole excitement of everybody doing it made a big deal. So I really, really want all of us to get on board. I want us to get all of our consultants on board. And even the ones that are not super active consultants, we still want them involved and inviting people, because I tell you what happens sometimes. Say, I don't know, I'm going to use Kelsey as an example. Say that Kelsey is a consultant that turns in a show every 4 months. This is not Kelsey, but I'm just using her name because it popped up. Okay, so Kelsey maybe turns in a show once every 4 months. And then I'm telling Kelsey, come on, you got to get in here. This is going to be so much fun. Your people can win giveaways. So she's inviting, and I'm giving every consultant a goal to have 25 members join the show. So they're going to need to invite more than 25, right? But she invites 25 people. Her people are having fun, and one of her friends signs up to sell. And then her friend's excited. So guess what that's going to do with Kelsey? That's going to excite her and re-engage her back in the business, because she has a new recruit, right? So I feel like even fairly active consultant can really benefit and re-engage through this. So even going back to all those consultants that you have on your team that hasn't done anything recently. I'm going to do a project broadcast with my consultants and have them, I mean, yeah, I might do a survey, but the ones that aren't active aren't going to fill out a survey. Honestly, I don't think. So I'm just going to send them a message and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. I know, I see you've done, just a little bit with your business the past couple months. Now is a great time. Would you be interested in re-engaging? I can help you. We have this fun event you can invite your friends to. So the event is primarily going to be focused on recruiting and adding team members, but there is going to be a push for bookings as well. So when we did the event last time, I don't think I had anybody sign up from it, but I did get bookings from it. And I believe I even had a couple orders because it just put Pampered Chef in their mind, and they're like, oh, by the way, I need to order a food shop or whatever. So it was very beneficial for me, even though I only had like 10 people in there. I think I posted it on my wall and had a couple people join in that way, but I wasn't super involved in it. Like I wasn't intentional to use that group, but this time I am. I looked and I think I have like 40 people in the group, and all I did was post on my VIP page, and I sent out a customer connection email. I posted the words in the org page. So if y'all want to send out one, and I plan to do a project broadcast as well to promote that. So that's what's happening with that. So, and then also, y'all know that I absolutely love this business. I think recruiting is where it's at. I think that it's not really recruiting, but it's sharing your heart and sharing your business with others and what you've gotten out of it. So I'm doing, I came up with this, if I can find the darn thing. I got too many things on my screen. I just came up with a Canva that we're going to use for our org. Let me show it to you. I think. So I'm going to call it Share the Love. Our organization, what's happening here? Okay, what are y'all seeing now? Anybody seeing my screen? I'm frozen, I think. Okay, can y'all see my screen? Nobody? Anybody? Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks. My computer's dragging big time. I think I need to close down some of these things I have. Just shut down all these. Okay. So our goal or organization goal is 100 lives touched, not recruits, but people that we're going to share the business with that will sign up and hopefully impact their lives for the good. So our goal is 100. Right now we have 7. I'm so excited to see what this weekend holds. So I really want to push this hard to our organization, and I just wanted to chat with y'all first before I posted it. But I'm excited to watch these numbers go, or these little hearts get red. So when we add new team members, that's what we're going to do. I'm trying really hard at tracking that. I'm not a good tracker updater, if y'all know that. I'll try really hard to keep it updated. All right. So, and then even I know on a call that I was just on, we were talking, a couple executives were saying, well, it's kind of hard for me to push recruiting when my team doesn't even have bookings. And believe me, I feel that. I do feel that. But I think with a $25 kit, I think they can still easily share recruiting, even if they don't have the bookings that they need. And then again, if they sign up people or they have people interested in the business, it might spur some more excitement towards bookings. But I do know that bookings is an issue right now. So I kind of want to, talk about that a little bit. How are you all feeling with your team organization, with your team's bookings and your personal bookings? So this is where y'all give me feedback.
Not going well at all.
Yeah.
I messaged.
just because, well, I recruited, which thank the Lord, I'm happy for that. But I lost a couple of parties and they were parties that had been scheduled for like 6 months. But then COVID is killing us here. Everybody we message either has it or has somebody that's sick or something like that. And of course, I'm not over that. That's not nice. So I'm actually getting a little scared about direct messaging just because there's so much. I mean, I got a semi-nasty response this week from somebody who said, "You really should read my wall before you message me." And there was truth in that. And I told her, I apologize. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot going on. And so.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, to be fair too, you can't read everybody's wall. So,
Exactly.
but I get her point. I mean, I get that, but I also get your point, your side as well, that there's no way we can read everybody's wall before we send a message. So, I mean, we definitely can be sympathetic and empathetic in a situation like that. Like easily say, "I'm so sorry. I would have never messaged you had I known." We do have to be sympathetic because there is a lot of crap going on. I mean, there really, really is. So, but we still have to work, just like the people at Target still have to work, right? I mean, it's life. So, I think just like back when COVID started, we need to think about how can we work our business where it is beneficial to people who are dealing with the COVID stuff. And I remember back then when COVID first started, we're like, we're out of business, we're done. That's our first knee-jerk reaction. But then we really started thinking about how can I help others through this situation? And it really was going back to, we're at home, where so many people are at home sick, not doing well, quarantined, whatever. How can I take this gray situation and brighten it up some? So we did a lot of staycation stuff. That was kind of closer towards the summer though. I don't know, what kind of ideas do you all have? How can we take what's going on now and not, I hate to say use it to our advantage, because that's not like, I don't want to play people, but I know the situation. How can I make them feel better about it? How can I give them something that's going to benefit their life a little bit? Does that make sense?
Well, and I guess I'm kind of in the same boat, just on the struggle bus personally. And I feel like my team isn't motivated and they're really having trouble getting bookings, and the things that I'm suggesting aren't always working for me, and let alone working for them. So I've been trying to find other things to do. And I'm the same as Melanie. Like, the direct messaging has been a real struggle lately.
Yeah.
As far as me, the idea is, the birthday stuff is still working for me. I got 5 bookings in December just for myself. And January was a little bit tougher because it's, always one of our tougher months is January. It just is. No matter what's going on in the world, January is tougher. But I did get 2 birthday bookings from reaching out to my birthdays. That was 2 I didn't have on the table. I started a Bees on the Rise group with my organization, where we're literally going back to basics again. And I flip the call. Normally I do bookings and then recruiting. And we literally start call 1 with, if you have nothing on your calendar, what are we going to do? What's some tips? And then I share some engagement posts and say, go post this, because they have to have the words. Our teams will not work if we don't give it to them. They may not have the same mentality that we have of just being creative or trying to find the workarounds, but give them the words. Like, I had some of my team members post the chili. Do you use rice or cornbread in your chili? Or something else, and then reach out to them and say, hey, I know the holidays have been stressful and crazy. We have some amazing rewards this month in January. I would love to have a recipe week with you with all of the comfort fall foods and winter foods that people love. And that might give your friends and family a good boost for this season. So if you go to it, approaching it in the ask that we know things have been crazy, or that we know that, everybody needs love right now. And I'm in there. I have had a rough season, and I'm struggling mentally myself, but I choose to get up and do the things every day. Not everybody can do that, and I get that. But for our teams, if all we can do is provide the words, provide specific tasks that can help them maybe think outside the box, some things are going to work for them, some aren't. Just like, there's certain posts that, like, I've seen Jennifer get bookings from, that I'm like, oh, I'm going to try that, and I got squat. That's just the way it is, because we have different clients, different customers, different whatever. But I think just love on your team, show them some grace. Try to have fun with them this season. My actual once a month organization calls now have switched to 30 minutes training, 30 minutes of game time. And that 30 minutes of game time, how you stay is you have to be active the month before. You have to have $150 to play. So just by being active and doing your job, we've been playing categories. We played charades. That was interesting. We've played Pictionary, which was fun. So people are now saying they really enjoy our calls. So bringing back the fun to their job is really where it's important right now, because even myself have not been loving this gig lately. And I know that I can be honest with you guys as directors, but it's still my business. I have to show up every day. So I've been doing that. And then I'm throwing out challenges like, I'll show y'all later, or I'll share a picture. I have 5 stars. And it's, will you be a star this month? And if they add one team member, and this is for my whole org, and I said, make me go broke this month, because that's where we struggled last year looking at numbers, is we did not recruit enough people to have the growth. That was literally where it was at. So if they recruit one person in my entire org, which we have 272 people, they get Happy Meal from me. If they recruit 2 people, they're going to get $10 in PC bucks from me. If they recruit 3 people, they'll get both the Happy Meal and 10 PC bucks. If they do 4, they're going to get Happy Meal and 20 PC bucks. And if they recruit 5, they're going to get Happy Meal and 30 PC bucks. Now, will everybody do that? No. But I figured if I don't go big and show them I'm willing to celebrate some big success this year, then those that are willing to work aren't going to work for it either.
Thank you for sharing that, Leah, because a lot of things you mentioned were things that are kind of in my wheelhouse of, wanting to do with our teams. The one thing is I kind of feel like our whole mantra this month and probably into the next couple months is share the love, because that's kind of where I feel like everybody needs love. We all need it. Our team members need it. Our hosts need it. Our guests need it. We as directors, we all need it. I feel like that there's a lot of crap happening right now. And y'all, I love hanging out with y'all. I love the interaction, the friendships. I love all the Marco Polos. I love that. Like, my heart's so big. Melanie and Kelsey, they'll send me polos of their babies, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that's what makes me happy. That's what makes my heart melt, right? So just seeing you all and having those relationships with you is what I need. That's what keeps me going. And I feel like all of us need that human connection, right? We just need to have a sense of inclusion, belonging, love. And so if we really make that our whole mantra for the month, showing each other the love as a director team. And, we got we got a secret squirrel club, y'all. There are a lot of people that want what we have in this relationship, right? So we need to really just value what we have here, but then also share that with our team members. And I hear a lot of people saying, and I've felt like this before, and I kind of feel like it right now with my personal team. A lot of times I feel like they don't get on calls. They don't answer my messages. They're not participating in the things that I'm putting out there. But then when I think back to it and think about why are they not doing that, I kind of feel like I'm not showing them the love that I should. I'm not giving them that attention. I'm not, because it's kind of hard when you get to be a leader and you have all these groups of all these different things that require your attention. And I feel like I've really been focusing mostly on directors, which I know that's important and that's really where I want my focus. But then my personal team member they kind of get left behind, right? And so I'm thinking like, I haven't really, on my dream team page, I haven't posted on that since September. I just noticed that. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are my personal people. And I haven't posted on that page since September. No wonder they're not doing anything, right? I'm not showing them any love. I'm not showing them the attention and the support and the things that they need. I do feel like they know that I'm always here when they have a question, but I'm not giving them that extra attention. So, and then I will tell you too, I think you all have probably felt this at some point in your life or since you've been with the company. Do you feel like you want to do more when you feel appreciated? So I feel like my personal team's not feeling appreciated. So they're just like, pampered chef, no big deal. I can take it or leave it. I don't want my team to take it or leave it. I want them to feel the love and want to be a part of this. So let's brainstorm that. How can we show our team members love and appreciation and inclusion? I love Leah's idea. I love that she's adding games and that's putting that personal twist in there. So one of the things I originally wanted to talk about today was doing a monthly Zoom with your team members. Not for training. Y'all, we have a ton of training. There's so much training out there. They can take advantage of that. But what you need with your team members is that community. You need to build those relationships where they want to be on the calls, that they want to be a part of the group, that they want to be active to help support the team, right? So how can we do that?
I'll go real fast. So I'm struggling. I have big goals for myself and I have big goals for my team. And sometimes I know how I can push myself and I'm trying to pump the brakes and not push my team, especially right after Christmas, getting started. Now we're going through a whole other wave of COVID and all that. So with that said, we're going to have a team call, which we haven't done. I think I've done one other time, but so I did a live on my team page and I was like, listen, I know we have all the calls, we have the big DeNicholas, org and everybody there to help, but we've gotten so many new team members. I want to jump on and people get to know each other, because I want y'all to rely on each other on team inspiration and not just everybody else. So this Sunday night we're supposed to do a call, and I'm making it where and plus my team is struggling. I have some that are working and some that are not. And so we're doing a goal setting call. So that way we can kind of just tell each other so we can start holding each other accountable. And that way I kind of know what everybody's 2022 goal is going to be. And and that kind of gives me an idea of where everybody
is. Jessica breaking up, or is it my computer?
So I didn't make it considered a training call. I'm calling it a goal setting call. So that way we can get some people on there. And then on an accountability group that I'm in, that's on.
All right, Jessica, you're breaking up so bad we can't hear what you're saying. So we'll revisit that maybe when you get in a better area. But what she's saying is that she's doing like a goal setting call, not a training, which I think is good too. But what if we even approach it with like, I love Leah's game night, or, you could even do icebreakers, getting to know people. And then anybody that gets on the call gets happy mail. It doesn't matter what kind of happy mail you send. Leah, by the way, how funny would it be if you send happy meal little certificates to your team? That would be hilarious.
Or that may be something I think about doing, because I say that all the time. I mess up, I talk fast. That's just me. So yeah,
Don't
But I
tell them
also-
that
I'm
that's
on
what
an-
you're sending. Just send it.
happy meal. I'm also on a new accountability call that I started from the Friendsgiving group that we went to. And the one thing I learned from that this week was they're doing this hashtag learners are earners. And so, for example, my personal team that jumped on our Bees on the Rise, I just surprised them with 5 PC bucks and said, learners are earners. Thanks for jumping on these live calls. Those that jump on these live calls are those that are working their business. So thank you for being part of our organization. And they were like, oh my gosh, that was so nice of you. Because I used to do like a raffle giveaway or a word giveaway, and I got away from that. And our numbers have dwindled as far as jumping on calls again.
Yeah. So back when I was kind of in the same shoes that you all are, I just wasn't seeing the people get on the calls. And I will tell you, hands down, the people that are on the calls are those that are selling and that are doing something. The ones that don't get on the calls, they don't ever sell anything. And they're the ones that are like, I can't get any bookings. Nobody wants to book with me. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, have you gotten on a call to learn any new ideas? Well, no. Okay, there you go. Now, I'm not saying that those of us on the call never struggle, because I'm struggling too. I don't have my January full. Like, it just is what it is. But those that are on the calls are the ones that are plugged in and have potential. Okay. So if somebody tells me they're not on the calls, I'm like, well, no wonder I don't say that, but that's kind of the thought process, right? No wonder your business isn't going anywhere, because you don't even know what's happening. They don't know the specials for the month. If they don't know what's happening in Pampered Chef, how are they going to book shows, right? So when I was at that point where nobody was getting on calls, I really had to think about, okay, how can I entice them to get on the calls, first of all? And then, so I was very intentional. And this may have been when I was doing the calls with Love. Love was doing the calls and I was trying to get everybody on there, but then nobody would get on there. So one of my main things was breaking off and doing my own calls, because I knew that a smaller group, they know that they're held accountable, right? Because I could see easily who was on there and who wasn't. But when we did a call, I would screenshot who was on there. And after every single call, I would message everyone that's on there and thank them for joining the call, that it really meant a lot to me. And what did they take away from the call? What are they going to work in their business this week because of it? And it just keeps that, it keeps that frame of mind. And so not only did they hear the call, but it's kind of holding them accountable to do the actions that they learned on the call. And I would do that every single week. And then the people that were not on the call, I would send them a message after, and I'd say, I'm so sorry that you weren't able to make it on the call. We missed you. It was an amazing call. Here's the playback. Let me know once you listen to it. Holding them accountable. Well, first of all, telling them I missed them, because I did want to see their face on there, right? I do want them to be present in our chats, because whatever. But then also, like, I know you weren't on the call, but you're not getting away without listening to it. Like this, you say you want to run your business, that you need to watch this, right? So kind of holding them accountable. And then later that week, checking in with them. Did you have, what did you think of the call? What's your takeaway from the playback, right? So doing those things, put it on their mind every single week. And sometimes I feel like that maybe Susie wasn't on the call. And so I'd message her and I was like, we really miss you. Here's the playback. It was, and I tell them every single time, it was an amazing call. We learned about XYZ. And once I typed it up, I just pasted it to all the people that weren't on there, right? So it's not like it took a whole lot of time, but then I told them what the call was about, kind of enticing them to want to listen to it. But then I followed up, hey, what did you think of the playback? Not like, did you listen to the playback sternly, like not a not like that, but hey, what did you think of the playback? What did you take from it? And then Susie would be like, well, she's already messaged me 2 weeks in a row. I guess I better get on live. And that just really changed the mindset. And I also did the same thing that Leah did. The ones that got on the call, I was sending crazy Happy Meal. Did it cost me a little bit of money? Absolutely. But y'all, we get paid $10 for every active consultant. Do you know the reason for that money? Do you know why they give us that money? To use on our consultants. As much as we'd love to pocket the extra $50, $60, $80, go buy a new bag or shoes with it, it's really not for us. It's to incentivize our active team members. So I was very intentional about taking that activity bonus money and putting it back into my active team members. And it really worked. It really worked. And I would do something as simple as I would go to the dollar store and I would buy, I don't know, I would find cute little bags or cute little things. And I had a friend of mine put some vinyl on it that would say Pampered Chef. Now, y'all don't tell nobody this because I don't even know what we're supposed to do it, but we do it, right? So they would put Pampered Chef logo on it. And then I would get like real thin things that could go in like a small envelope. And so I could mail it for like $1.50. So I'd buy a $1 item, I'd pay her $1 or $2 to do the vinyl on it, and then I'd pay $2 shipping. So I maybe pay like $5 for an item. But people were so excited about it. And then I would have a little note in there that says, congratulations for being on the call, you won Happy Mail or you earned Happy Mail or something like that. And I would tell them, post a picture of this on our team page. And so it got really big there for a while. Some of y'all remember it. It got really big where like all the time people are posting all these little things with confetti and their note, I'm a rock star or whatever. And they were excited to get it. And I'd say, hey, thanks for being on the call. You got this mail because you were on the call, or you were an active team member, or you, whatever I was trying to promote that month, right? Whatever for those couple of months. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing it for them and they enjoyed receiving it. So then I started seeing my numbers really increase as far as people on the calls and then active team members. So I think I might kind of go back to that for my personal team, just to show them a little love. And y'all know people love my confetti. As much as you hate it, you love it. Don't even try to deny it. So what do y'all think? Feedback, anything?
I love that idea.
We noticed that our team members, except for Penny, because Penny's awesome and never misses a call, nobody was on the calls. So I reached out this week and messaged each individual person on our team to say, hey, what do you have going on? Or how can we make a change to these calls to make it better? Is it something we need to do in the daytime? Is it something we need to try on a Saturday morning? Like, what do we need to do? And it made it more personal to them, but it also gave them a chance to feel like they could answer without being in a group. Because it turned out every single one of them does have something that truly is preventing them from being on those calls. So we're trying this month, our focus on our team is the same as with our customers, but a different aspect. We're trying to just meet them where they are. So with our customers and people that are booking parties, and we've had, I'll be the first to tell you, Steve and I have no parties going this week at all. We had 4 scheduled and all 4 canceled. Now we've been running one just for ourselves, but it's not the same. And we are hearing about COVID, and we're hearing about sickness and all these other things, but in doing that and saying, okay, when you're over that, what do you need? How do we help get you back on your feet and get you back to where you needed to be? Because you still got to eat, you still got to feed your kids. So we have shifted our recipes a little bit from our normal recipes to more just simple 3-4 ingredients, one, pot or one pan or whatever. So our focus is just meeting people where they are. What do they need and how do we get it to them is kind of where we've shifted to.
I love that. You know, one thing, this just popped in my brain. We used to do power cooking shows, and power cooking is, it's also called investment meals, where you teach people to cook all their meals on like a Sunday afternoon and then they have it all week. That would maybe be a big, like, whoa, I want to join that. I want to learn how to do that. But what if we even took that idea and kind of tweaked it to, I don't know what we would call it, but thinking of giving and sharing the love, what if we taught people how to make meals that would be prepared and ready to give to a friend that has COVID? Like, that kind of gave me goosebumps. I mean, like, I love that idea, but I don't really know how to implement it.
I love the idea, and we talked about it, but we never could get it going of using the Taste Bud subscription box, because some people would say, oh, I want to try it, but what if I don't like it? Okay,
Mhm.
well, now you've got stuff on hand that you can make a meal that you can give to somebody that's sick, or, you know, when you have your potluck at church, or you need to take a meal, but we couldn't get it, make it happen. But yeah, I love the idea of having something on hand, or even if they're sick and you need to just do a portion delivery, have some mixes on hand and some scoopers and some,
Right.
you know, little things
Look,
of that nature.
That's what I'm doing right now. I have a neighbor with COVID. Her whole family is pretty sick. So
But how can we, okay, let's brainstorm this for a second, because like I said, this just popped in my brain. How can we take that idea and turn it into a show where people would they'd want to be in the show because they'd want to learn how to do these meal kits for friends and family that have COVID, or even like meal prep for your own family? I don't know. Let's talk about this. What do y'all think?
So when I was thinking a while ago about this, I was thinking, and I don't know if we get in trouble because, you know, we have a fine line, but could we do like immunity boosting recipes type things? I don't know, healthy, because we have a healthy living or healthy food template.
Mhm.
But if we could incorporate, you know, like some of the benefits of garlic and some of the benefits of, you know, vitamin C, or could that be incorporated in there? You
I
know,
would
just
think so. Yeah.
Our current template has some of those benefits of vitamin C, benefits of the garlic in the share the tips thing. So people can share their own tips as well. And I went in and added a message to ours that says, Google, you know, one easy way to, maybe that's what we're looking for. Google an easy way to add more any vitamin to your recipe or to your diet. And then that's something we can talk about with Enrichables too. If adding those in and how easy it is to add those in. And then you can even, like, I've heard a lot of people say they like the Enrichables in chilies and spaghetti sauces, things that have a strong flavor. We could even do recipes like that where you can freeze them so that if your kids are going to have to fend for themselves, it's already ready to go, maybe something like that.
I do also know that even being on the director call yesterday, on trend now more than ever is kind of that combination of healthy eating, but comfort foods. People are done. The last 2 years have been ridiculous for so many, and comfort foods, easy meals that are quick and easy, and comfort foods, things like Jennifer said, that makes big batches of. I mean, hello, look at this chicken noodle soup. It's going to feed my grandmother and my neighbor, actually. So maybe we could come up with some, you know, short demo videos along with some recipes that we can kind of do a combined album. And I know that in an album, you can't really put in demo videos, but maybe in the comments of the album, we could actually share YouTube videos that we may have, like, you know, granted our quick cooker is not available, so I wouldn't be showing that, but stuff like that we could create an easy comfort food template. And it can be used how to feed your family quick and give yourself a hug these after the holidays, basically, or how can you give others a hug while you're still taking care of your family that may need it. So it can kind of be a combination, because I think it would market to more people if you did it that way. Like, hey, let's have a give a hug party. That's, giving yourself a squeeze or someone in need a squeeze with some great, easy, fast recipes that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Lynn put in the comments, food from the heart, and I love that. So what if we did a whole thing around, like make one, give one? All the recipes would be recipes that you could feed your own family, but then also use half of it and give it away to someone else that needs it, or again, freeze it if, so I don't know. I love this idea. I really feel like that's how we're going to get business. That's how we're going to get shows, is by sharing the love. I love the food from the heart. I love that whole concept, but I need y'all to help me brainstorm and like figure out how we're going to do this.
One of those things that came out from marketing this time where they were asking all the questions, one of it was like, who taught you to cook and that kind of stuff. So we went further with it and kind of expanded it. And we did, what's your favorite comfort food, or who made your favorite comfort food growing up, or, get them to talking about grandma and her soup, or Aunt Sally and her, whatever. And that gets people thinking about it at least. And then if we can get them engaged enough to share those foods, then we can find recipes or get them to tell us recipes. Or I think that's where the engagement comes from on the side of it.
Okay, so I think you're talking about doing an engagement post that's asking people, and then when they comment, then you can send them a private message saying kind of what your idea is on your shows and see if they want to host it. Is that right?
Yeah, see if they want to. We've done posts where we've just said, tell us what it is. If you share the recipe, we'll enter you into a drawing or that kind of thing. We get a lot of the same things over and over, chicken noodle soup. But we also find that these same recipes are made completely different regionally. And so that's been interesting to see, like in our VIP group, where everybody's spread out more than in just a regular party necessarily. And to get people talking to each other about, my and Steve's forever going on about putting in spaghetti into chili, which makes no sense. But just different things like that. And that gets them thinking, and that gets everybody, because the other big thing that's going on right now is groceries are so expensive. And if we can do some of these batch things where you have some now, you have some to give, you have some to freeze, whatever, that's obviously, going to save. And I think that's the other big thing people are looking at, is how to save, how to make the comfort food, how to feel like you've warmed your soul and not just your belly.
I love that. I love it. I love it. So how can we implement that? What would a show look like? How would we, how would we market it, and how would we implement it?
So of course my typing is crazy as I'm cooking another meal. I'm making a pork roast now for tonight for Brady's birthday, but maybe just something on, hey, like a reach out. Hey, I know everyone could use a hug this season. I'm sharing a fun new recipe week called Food from the Heart. It's based on great tips, recipes, and games with make one, share one recipes and meals that you can give yourself a hug and others a hug at the same time. I think that would be fun. Or you can, or keep them both for yourself, one for a rainy day, put it in the freezer, that type of thing. But I think that it's going to be something new. I think it's fresh. It's a new idea based on comfort foods that are in trend right now. And that can be, like she said, anything from chilies to stews to easy one pot meals to dumplings, chicken and dumpling. I mean, there's so many, and that can include the taste buds and our seasoning packets. That type of thing. And that'd be a lot of fun.
I love the idea. Anybody on here that would be willing to kind of work as a team to come up with that? Maybe anybody?
I'm happy to help where I can. I will say we have been taking this downtime and adding some things to our templates. And what I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from customers is the customers that are feeling good and doing good and trying to lose weight. If we be sure to include on our recipes the breakdown so they can count their calories or their carbs or their whatever it is they're doing. And the Pampered Chef stuff has it on there. But a lot of times that gets cropped off or left off, and people are really responding to having that so they can figure out if they're doing Weight Watchers, what their points are, or counting their other stuff. And it's real simple for us to leave it on or to include it.
Yeah.
We've
that's
also
true.
taken those recipes that are all of our favorites. Like my absolute favorite, number one thing in America when I feel bad is macaroni and cheese. And trying to make those a little more, not necessarily healthy, but just less of the fat or less of the carbs or less of whatever. And people are really responding to that aspect of it also.
Yeah, that's yeah. So anybody want to, Wendy said that they're willing to help if anybody else wants to work together on ideas, or because I do feel like, I mean, I know we need bookings, all of us, and we can't expect our team to get bookings unless we have bookings. But if we come up with a good, solid idea that's working for us, then it's easier to share and, help your team members get bookings as well. So I do feel like something like this would go over well.
I mean, I'll be happy to contribute if an album gets set up or something of that nature. Then I can, look at some of my videos or make a video when I can this week, or, look at some of the recipes I have and all. We can definitely put something together. I just know that I won't be home all weekend. I'm going camping with scouts.
Have fun with that.
We're going to be snowed in all weekend. So the snow just started when we started this call and the ground's already covered.
Oh my gosh. We had snow, but none of it stuck. The kids, they slept through the whole thing too. All right. Well, y'all think about it. If anybody's willing to help out and try to come up with something, that would be great. Because I think a lot of people, our consultants included, could really take hold of this and go somewhere with it.
I'm sure that me and Holly can get together and pull something out.
Holly's a rock star with coming up with stuff.
Yes, she is. Y'all be praying that she becomes a rock star director.
And I she's so valuable. I would love to have her as a director in our organization, because she has a lot to contribute.
She does.
Yeah, I'd love to have
I'll reach out to you and see if Penny wants to help with some stuff.
Yeah.
If she's got time. It's the first of the month. She only works the first of the month and the end of the month.
Yeah, you better get in on her before she's taking her time off.
That's right.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so good to include your team members. So if you have someone that does a great template or has good ideas, and you reach out to them and you're like, hey, Penny, you know what? We were just chatting about you today, and we would love for you to help us with this because you have great ideas. Think about how much that flatters them and includes them. And again, sharing the love of like, you're important and we'd love to have you weigh in on this. That boosts them a lot, I think. So think about that too. And we'll talk about this on the next call because we're out of time, but and remind me that we'll talk about it too, but including your team members in things to give them, that sense of inclusion, importance, and things like that, as far as like trainings and asking them to share things in your team page. And we'll talk about that later, but don't let me forget. Anything else before we jump off here?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and even go live in my team page or my org page and share this brainstorming idea. And I'll even try to put up an album in mine that I can then kind of dump over into DeNicholas as well, because more brains to it, the better. So we'll see if anybody bites and participates, but I'll ask them if they have anything they want to put in the album.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, is that like, I really love this idea. I just can't be in charge of implementing it at the moment because I have a ton of other stuff on my plate, but I think this could be I think this could be a game changer as far as, because you can ask people all day long, host a show, host a show, host a show, but unless it's something that really hits them in the heart or something that they're interested in, then they're like, no, I'm not interested. I'm too busy, whatever. But if you turn around and you say, we have this amazing idea that we're going to be sharing, food from the heart or whatever, you're going to pull heartstrings and they'll say, oh, yeah, I want in on that. Where they may not just a Pampered Chef show, but if they know that it's, something beneficial for themselves and others, they'll be more likely to do it. So I think y'all brainstorm. If you come up with a good post or idea or something, let's share it in the director chat group, and let's just kind of process this over the next week and see what we can come up with. Anything else? Well, thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate it. I know lots of y'all are working, so I appreciate you taking the time, and I love seeing your faces. All right, chat with y'all later.